It is a retail apocalypse. The retail industry is in a downward spiral with stores like Pier Imports filing for bankruptcy and most recently S&P Global downgrading Macy's to junk status. But joining us now is someone who's had success when it comes to retail, FUBU founder and CEO Daymond. He is out with a new book. It is called Power Shift: Transform Any Situation, Close Any Deal, and Achieve Any Outcome. It's in stores coming March 10th. Also joining us on set is Yahoo Finance's Brian Sawsey to talk about a great many things. Let's jump in with the book first, because you give some advice to people on how to be successful, and it has to do with three things. It's influence, negotiation, and relationships. How do those all interact?
Sure, I think that a lot of people are very transactional, and I think they think it's when they get on the carpet of Shark Tank or the minute that I see one of you when I'm going for an interview or some other things. But have you built the influence prior? Also, when the negotiation, am I negotiating for what's in it for you? Because you couldn't care less about my problems. And how am I nurturing that relationship to do 5, 10, 20, 30 deals afterwards? And I think after all the years of Shark Tank, people just don't realize the art of basically doing deals.
What prompted you to write the book? I mean, you've written books before. Yeah. You're on Shark Tank. You're a busy guy. Sure. Why this particular thing? Because
I think the number one thing that I've noticed was the difference between every person here at the table, success and or people outside, is it's what we negotiate in life. And people see it so transactional. They really don't understand. I always say, you know, your reputation like skyscrapers. We can see this thing driving through any place in the city. And people just really think when they come to me, that's when due diligence starts. No, it doesn't, especially these days. Especially these days when we have transparency and I can look at everything you've been doing for the last 20 years online.
How hard is it to be a retailer how hard is it to be a retailer right now if your name is not Amazon, Walmart, or Target?
Extremely hard. Listen, I felt the pain in '07, right? That's when I was part of the retail organizations with my products and my brand started to decline as everybody else. Today, if you're not, you have to look at your space as an event space. It is not a retail space. It's an event space. Because you look at pop-ups. Pop-ups are all happening all the time, all around, and the lines are out the door down the block. But they're making an event in a special time. So it's almost like, newspapers years ago thinking they were in the newspaper business instead of the content and or media business.
You talk about experiential experiences kind of at retail locations. Who's doing that well right now, aside from the pop-ups here and there?
It's really most of the pop-ups that I see. Who does it well? I see BeautyCon, and I see a lot of these beauty brands that do it really well, because you go in there and you can't get somebody at Amazon to come to your house and make up your face, right? So I see that. I think Tesla does it quite well. Mm-hmm. They make event spaces out of it. They had the model of don't go down the block to a car place. So listen, you're the dad and your mom, you're in the mall, and you have nothing else to do because the kids are running around, you're going to go check out a Tesla. So I think those could be, Apple does a really good job of it.
So, Daymond, advice to somebody who wants to do business with you that's never done business with you before?
What's in it for me? How are you going to find out what's in my portfolio and what advantages I need? A lot of people come up to me and pitch me clothing brands. I have 10 clothing brands and 8 of them are dead. That's the last thing that I want. So a lot of people pick the wrong targets for the wrong reasons. And how can I fulfill something that I want to do, whether it's from a philanthropy side or how I can learn from it? And how can I apply the knowledge you're going to bring in to make me smarter in all my businesses?
You just talked about knowledge. You're partnering with the Bob Evans Farm's annual Heroes to CEOs contest. And just want to point out, and this helps veterans who are launching business. We had one of the guests, and the winner of that award, Charlinda Scales, was on with us about 3 months ago.
So this is my 4th year of working with Bob Evans Farms, and they have a program, Heroes to CEOs, where you should apply by March 20th, and you get on there, and if you win, you get $30,000. You get a all-expense-paid trip to come to New York City to meet with me and some guidance and things of that nature. And it's been 4 years, and you can apply from it if you're on any service branch of the government in regards to our military. And listen, like you said, Charlinda, I met her about, I think, 3 or 4 years ago. She served our great country, and she came out with something called Mud Sauce. Now she's highlighted in my book, Power Shift, because I saw how she took the power and what she used in the military as somebody who was able to complete tasks and work within a system and over-deliver, and she now has done that for her company. And I think that the Bob Evans Farms and supporting CEO men and women of our military is absolutely amazing. I love working with them.
You mentioned your portfolio. What type of business are you interested in right now? Is it a brand? Is it a certain type of business model?
Yeah, the businesses have to have transparency and they have to have a reason for their giving back. I have the #1 invested product on Shark Tank history, and it's simple. It's a pair of socks. It's called Bombas socks. Every time they sell a pair of socks, every time, absolutely, it's a good product.
Whole draw of them.
And they donate. They donate a pair.
Every time they give it away, pair away to the homeless. So I just want you to remember, if you ever interview any other sharks, I'm the #1 shark on the tank. They're all other morons are losers, and it's only because I've learned from them that today's customer says, listen, I want to know what you've done for somebody else. I could buy socks from anybody, but at the end of the year, I want to tell you that I've given away 400 times. Every time I bought this, I stopped human trafficking. Every time I bought this, Bob Evans Farms committed to veterans. Every time I bought this, it helped get a pair of socks to a homeless person.
Well, I have a sock business. I got a pitch to you.
It's that transparency that you talk about.
People want to know, what have you done for somebody? Because we can buy from anybody these days.
Yeah. Daymond, John, good to have you on today.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.